We're in the loading screen now. It's been so long.
It's been a while.
Who's gonna sing the song? Oh, snap! Oh no, our videos are in the wrong spot.
No!
Oh no!
Epic.
Oh no.
Can we move them about live on stream? That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, we will.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Do that.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and reorganize that on stream. Let's put that music back up a little bit louder. Yeah.
See, I know I'm getting my voice tonight with my scratchy, cold voice.
Get that bomb voice
Oh, are
going.
you feeling any better, Bum? Or Rich?
How you feeling, Mom?
I mean, that makes it no distinction really at this point.
I'm getting
thanks,
the
yeah,
character.
I'm much better actually. I always feel the same after I come out of a jam. I feel like buzzing.
That's good.
Yeah, like really, really good. Like it's almost like a deliberate recuperation, if that makes sense. I do believe that. I think you get colds and stuff, mainly colds, just because you need it. You need to slow down.
I need to drop the link in the Discord too. Oh boy. Okay. Channel. How does it look? How does it look
I
on
need to go on Twitch. Hang on.
Twitch? It's been so long.
Good.
It's looking good. Okay.
Yeah.
It's looking alright. Oh my gosh. I doubt we'll... Ah!
Oh!
Ah! Hatchling! What? What? I had no idea you were here. Let's just go ahead and transition. Let's just do this. Hey! Hello, everyone! Oh my gosh, anyone who may or may not. What?
Hey!
What? Knight, you're here too? Aw, heck! Aw, heck! You know, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me was thinking, it's been so long, and I have been almost non-existent with socials and things because of various things, which maybe we'll have story time at a later date, not tonight. Oh my gosh! But I was sitting here thinking, you know what? No one's even gonna show up. It's been so very long, but y'all, that makes me so happy. And check it out, because it's been so long and I'm clearly out of practice. Our video feeds are all in the wrong spot. Oh wait, no, Marlowe and Kendis, y'all are good.
Yeah, we're good.
But Fenn and Bomb are swapped,
Yeah.
so let me fix that one.
2 out of 4.
Thank you so
Not bad.
We're good. Thank you so much for the resub, Scribble Knight. How are you? And hello, Spooky Mulder. Oh, Spooky Mulder. The artist formerly known as Fleetfoot Whack. 2 people are switched spots. I know I need to fix it. It's been a while. It's been a long while. It's been a while since we last streamed this game. I can't do it. All right. Let's fix these window captures, shall we? Doing it live. Let's unlock this one and oh no. Oh, what's happening? Oh, snap.
Did we ever write Frog and a Log? The full one? For the full poem?
We did not.
Oh man. That's gotta be...
Wait
maybe that could be a stream.
Wait for it. That would be a very fun stream.
That'd be hilarious.
Okay.
The origins
We
of
good?
Frog of a Log.
100%. We should all be on
I
it
think
and
we're good now.
contributing to the same poem. Hilarious.
That would be such a fun creation stream.
We should do that.
We should.
Verse each. A verse
Yes. Oh, we should.
each. Yeah. Could
Where you
masterpiece.
just kind of chain the story along.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
100%.
popcorn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Frog and a Log would be perfect for that. The only rule is that we have to try to maintain a consistent rhyming pattern.
Yeah.
Throughout the story.
That would be it, yeah.
I'm totally imagining this in the style of like the old Mr. Frog and Mr. Toad, or Frog and Toad.
Oh, cute!
Books.
Yeah.
Was that Marie Sendak? I can't remember. Marie Sendak did Little Bear. Beatrix Potter did Peter Rabbit. Who wrote Frog and Toad?
Don't know.
Chat! A challenge to you! Lore drop that I am redeeming in the chat. Find out who wrote Frog and Toad stories. But yeah, I am so excited to finally be back. I don't even really know how to get started except to sort of try to jump into it. So a little bit of an admin recap, I suppose. This is episode 8 in chapter 2. We are still in chapter 2. We have not stumbled upon the narrative shift yet. I need to fix our Google Meet as well. Man, what a hot mess. It has been a while, hasn't it? There we go. So everyone is at level 5.
Yep.
All of your character sheets, all of your dice, and those crazy dice, Marlowe, that always seem to roll high for you. See, this is really why we're going to, with the start of chapter 3, go for like a shift in the system. Because we got to do something about these high rolls. We got to branch away from these D20s. Bob, what is on your chest? Is that a dragon?
Hatchling.
Oh, it's a little hatchling dragon. Oh, that's so cute. Are they like?
I'm covering up the advertisement. So to avoid sponsorship accusations.
I mean, if people want to sponsor us, I would be open to that.
Frog and Toad was written by Arnold Lobel.
Yay, thank you, Spooky Mulder. Excellent. Yeah, that was not ringing a bell. I never would have recalled that name. Nope.
No,
nope.
never heard of it.
Nothing there. But thank you, Arnold Lobel, for the wonderful stories. Okay, yeah. Is there anything we need to do or talk about? I want to apologize to all the folks in chat for how long it has been since our last session, but also for the hiatus that I have been on. Life has become a little bit more complicated in certain ways, but everything is good. And I am planning on being back to the regularly scheduled twice a week streaming starting next week. Next week is going to be the comeback with the first Chill Creation stream in forever, a gaming stream on Thursday, and then moving into getting back into a normal schedule. But
Do you know what game you'll be playing?
So I have some ideas. Well, first of all, I do need to finish Horizon Zero Dawn because I saved that for the stream. So we'll play a little bit of that, but also more of Deltarune was released. So I was kind of thinking about doing a revisit of Undertale and then going into Deltarune. Because Undertale, for those of you who have been around from the start of the stream, was my very first streamed game. And out of all the video games, I'd probably end up getting some sort of like tattoo for it. We were talking about tattoos off stream. Undertale would be up there. That would probably be one. No, I need to stop. I need to stop.
Didn't you just get one?
I may or may not have acquired 2 tattoos within the past 2 months. So I don't have a problem. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's true though. It's a trope. Each time I come back.
Would you get an Iyastera tattoo?
Yes. Ooh. I absolutely would.
I have to do that.
Absolutely would. Well, in fact, it's not an Iyastera one specifically, but the trademark purple quill is going to be part of the sleeve. It's going to go there.
Nice.
But I would 100% get an Iyastera tattoo. I've thought about it before. I don't know. Okay, here's a question.
Young.
If you were, so far, whether as you, your person, or as your characters, what sort of tattoos may or may you not have?
One would get his ears done.
Oh yeah,
That's so cool.
100% on the inside.
Ow.
Oh, that's
Ow,
fun.
but awesome.
No, I'd be fine with it.
That would be super cool.
Oh, what would he get? Like leaves or something?
Probably like
Mushrooms.
Ooh.
something like that. Yeah, maybe like some fish, like carved fish,
Ooh.
Oh, that would be very
like trout
cool.
and things.
Because
But even if they're simple
he's
branches,
wet
they'd be
behind the
lovely.
ears.
Well, yeah.
Hey! You know y'all missed these puns.
That smells of fish most of the time.
Oh no.
But yeah, I think he'd love that.
That would look really cool.
I think that's something you might actually pursue as we go on, but we'll see.
That hurt to get done.
Yeah, he's got Constitution 18. It's fine.
He's fine.
That's pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
pretty resilient.
Pretty
And I
hopeful.
would not be surprised if in a world of magic with probably the option for enchanted tattoos,
Yeah, they probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
they
no,
could figure something out for quick healing.
that
I mean,
also makes-
if I were a tattoo artist in Iyastera, Ela has some great tattoo artists, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Interesting.
All those sailors gotta get their ink somewhere, right?
Yeah, right.
But I would imagine that you'd probably have someone with even minor healing clerical abilities on hand, just so you can avoid the IRL equivalent of the healing process, I'm sure. That would just be smart.
Yeah.
I think it would. Of course, you could have the option to not accept it, I suppose. But no one's gonna force healing upon you.
Where
Oh!
are these coming from?
Is this gonna be a running thing?
They're joining us tonight.
Because I
No,
really
don't
hope
think
it
so. I'll
is.
just do it.
How many more do you have? Alright, we're taking bets.
I'm picturing over the course of the stream it becomes 5, 6,
Yeah,
7.
in his
progressively.
covered
Just
completely.
more. Oh, there's one on your head.
And then we can no longer tell the difference between rich and bomb.
Oh. What? There is no difference. Bomb is
No.
is bomb.
I imagine Marlowe probably has a patchwork, either back piece or sleeve of different types of like herbs and like plants that she's gotten from each like ship she's been on.
Oh, that's nice. So instead of having like a field journal, it's on your person.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's incredible.
I really like that idea.
Honestly, out of everyone here, I feel like you would be the most likely to have some tattoos. So if there are some that you think Marlowe would already have, yeah, roll with
Bring
it.
Me as a person, I have 4.
Very good. I've got a few. The bird on my arm will get its color in a few weeks. That was already
I've
planned a while ago, though.
Been resigned to only black work.
I mean, black and gray tattoos are beautiful. Most of mine are. Fenn and Kendis.
Fenn thinks that
curious.
tattoos are for cool adventurers, so I'm sure that Fenn would want to get one at some point.
There
But
might be a...
there's not a specific thing that they would want just yet.
Okay.
So we'll see if anything significant happens over the course of our journey that they would.
Ooh.
I know that
All things to keep
Among-
in mind.
Other episode.
among tattoo artists, there's a tattoo that you get if you're a traveling tattoo artist that you can only get from other traveling tattoo artists. And I imagine there's something like that for like
cool.
adventurers and sailors. So I imagine whatever that is, Marlowe has one.
I don't know why I haven't developed this before. I feel like I've let myself down, and all of you down, for not having developed Iyastera tattoo lore.
Right?
We're doing it now.
What have I been
We're
doing with my
right
life?
Now.
Iyastera tattoo lore. So this is why I like asking these different questions, and this is why I absolutely loved, even though it's not on YouTube yet, it'll get there. I absolutely loved our offline roundtable pub chat.
Yeah, so much fun
that we had. So for those of you who may or may not have been looking for our stream, was it last week? It was last week. Apologies. OBS decided to rage quit and said it was done with all the things. So instead we did do an offline conversation recorded through Zoom, just like a behind the scenes, hey, we've been in this campaign for over a year now. Last week was actually that 1 year marker since the beginning of Heroes of Iyastera. So we wanted to do something, even if it was off stream and just amongst the group, but we did record it, so I'll be putting that up on YouTube soon, probably by this weekend. But I loved all the different questions that came out of it, hearing some of the insights from the characters and the players, and I took lots of notes, because these are things that give ideas for stuff that may or may not happen at some point in the future. I don't know. We'll see.
Would Kendis have any? Would Kendis have any tattoos?
Yeah, full body, just under the feathers, so you can't.
How long does it take for feathers to grow back? Because you know when you get a tattoo, they have to like shave
That's a good question.
hair off. You'd have to be careful with certain feathers.
Chat. How long does it take for feathers to grow back?
Like the downy, not the flight feathers.
Because I think
you don't want to mess with
You
don't want to mess with the flight feathers.
Approximately 12 months.
Oh.
So was Kendis bald like a chicken?
Oh, you would have been plucked for a year.
They just had like their full hood up and they're keeping on them for like a year. And people were like, what's nothing?
I would imagine you would get like all of it done at once.
No, it'd definitely be an installment too. That makes way more sense. But I do.
So you just have bald patches.
Oh my gosh.
I like that. Okay, so full limbs, sleeves, all of it, but under the feathers.
Everything.
Marlowe's got the like old school sailor, like you only have tattoos where clothes can cover it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. The classic.
Yeah.
Tattoos. Okay, I'm done. All right. I love that. I don't even know IRL what sort of. I would love to get an Iyastera tattoo. I totally would. I don't know what it would be.
Tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Some
But,
sort
like,
of tabletop. A Peig.
Like, and I know what mine would be. It would be a stinging nettle, because my first character death, her name is Nettle.
Oh.
She's okay. She came back. She's fine.
I do remember that.
I cried about it online, live on the internet, but she's fine.
Poor Ned.
But that would be my D&D related tattoo. Would be a stinging nettle.
Mm-hmm.
A very
That was a very like a monumental.
A very almost similar story for me would be, if I were to get one, would be a daisy, because in the first really long fun campaign I played, it took, I think, 2 years, and we had this NPC we were so attached to. He was my character's best friend, and he died in a field of daisies, and we held his hand. It was so emotional. But also, just as a reminder, this was a character that we loved so much and brought us so much joy. Just a little thing to remember how much we loved that campaign as a whole.
Nice.
That's
a little daisy.
Oh, I love that. Also, thank you for the follow, the Never Raven. Woohoo! All right. Are we ready? I think we're ready. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we need a quick musical shift for the recap.
Let's go.
Before we go into the here we go. Before we go into the theme. So, it has been a while. But
I'm going to close my eyes for your recap.
it has been a while since we last joined together, but not too much time has passed since you... Oh, thanks for the host rule of lore. Since you arrived in Felbray. After quite a long journey, for some of you all the way from Glenfarra, across Monair, the western part of Monair, going through the hills, finding secrets therein, secret clubs, perhaps secret organizations, Fenn. Learning bit by bit a little bit more about this wide world that you have embarked upon. Marlowe, this so far has been a myriad of new experiences for you, but certainly you must be feeling invigorated by being back on the road. Fenn, your travels have been a bit stressful here and there, dotted with misfortune alongside amazing experiences. And now with this new party that you have found yourself befriending, whether they realize it yet or not, you are now back in a very familiar setting as all of you have arrived in Felbray, specifically the Brass Canary. So Felbray, if you remember, is a seaside fishing village. Not quite large enough to be considered a town, but it does have an active port nestled within the dramatic and craggy cliffs that line the western coast of Monair. It is a bit of a rough and tumble town, where the people, while they live in the face of harsh weather conditions and the unforgiving sea crashing against the sides of the landscape itself, they find merriment, they find joy, and usually a little bit of trouble and mischief as well within the Brass Canary. So this was your first introduction to Felbray. After traveling for quite some time, you arrived a bit worse for wear after some knolls, but thankfully some recovery time in the Temple of the Serpent, Temple of Uraeus. Bomb, you had a bit of an interesting interaction coming into the Brass Canary. If you remember right, you had the chance to meet the town's only blacksmith, Talon, who seemed to get a sense of your discomfort, feeling a little bit out of place here. Didn't pry too much, but was a very, we'll say, steady, if not too conversational, dinner companion, while the rest of your comrades, Marlowe, Fenn, and Kendis, tried their hand at some gambling and getting into the typical sort of mischief that one might get into in the Brass Canary of Felbray. You didn't make too much money from that gambling game, however, Marlowe, in a way that you had somehow anticipated thanks to those higher dice rolls, you did have something stolen from you, if you remember what that was.
It was my coin purse.
It was your coin purse. So, considering the fact that all of you were very clearly newcomers, stumbling into Felbray without any openly acknowledged purpose or direction. Some of the more wily characters decided to see if they could take advantage of your presence, which, if it was not necessarily marked openly, was certainly noticed. While there are many who come and go within Felbray, it's still not too often to have unfamiliar faces in town. For the ships that tend to come into port and brave the cliffs and the rocky beaches just off of the coast tend to become known and become more familiar, become more recognized as common sights, common guests within the town. And Marlowe, while you know that the Maristella has stopped here in the past, you have not necessarily set foot in this town too often. And yet here you are. Nice and warm. The first proper beds you've slept in for a little bit of time, I would say. A few nights at the very least. Feeling perhaps not necessarily a sense of comfort, but space to breathe before looking for passage to your next goal, your next destination that you all are hopefully aiming towards, whether hopeful, whether fearful, apprehensive, depending on what you believe may await you there. But perhaps as this new day begins, you might be able to find yourself passage to Yokul. And with that, I think it's time for the campaign opening.
Time.
That's incredible.
It is absolutely beautiful, and it's been so long since we saw it. I mean, I still use that song for my alarm when I wake up in the mornings.
Yeah.
But the full video, being here with all of you again. Okay. So, wait, I have a tavern song? I do have a tavern song, possibly.
Yeah. Gotta have a tavern.
Hey.
Yay!
Hey. Okay, so shortly after the attempted theft from a very quick individual who was able to get out of the inn before you could really get a glimpse of their face, you all did decide, Marlowe with a bit of a self-satisfied smirk as you reassured yourself that your actual coin purse was still hidden appropriately within your robes, and it is, luckily for you. You all did end up turning in for the evening. I think you all got your own room, right? There were 4 rooms. Just for a few nights, Bomb, I believe you ended up paying for the rooms, paying for the lodging last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, each of you roll. How do we want to do this? Each of you roll a straight wisdom check.
That's an 8.
Nice.
I'm not feeling very wise.
5.
This is being super slow. Give me a second.
23.
23?
Ooh.
You rolled 23?
No, I didn't roll 23. I rolled 18.
Oh, I also rolled 18, but I
Ooh.
got 21.
Okay.
I got 12.
Okay. It's okay, Fenn.
Bob is triple as wise as me 3 times.
Yeah. It's not your greatest.
So, you passed through the evening pretty relaxed. Fenn, you slept like a rock. This was a very, very different experience staying the night here this time around versus the last time you were here when you had to leave in quite a hurry, of course, with a different appearance. So Boki did not recognize you when he, from the same person he had helped escape not so long ago. But, oh man, you slept so well. The rest of you, seems like the night went peacefully. Marlowe, at some point in the night, you thought you heard a shifting of the window in your room. But when you looked, there didn't seem to be anything there. You're all on the second story, by the way. There were no rooms on the ground floor. But it is a new day. It is now a new day. Not necessarily a very bright and sunshiny day. In fact, it's rather cold, and there seems to have been a fog that rolled in these wee hours of the morning from the sea. It's a little bit cold, a little bit damp, but as you make your way downstairs, those of you who are interested, there's already a nice fire going in the corner to stave off that bone-chilling kind of cold. You know, that sort of cold where it doesn't feel horribly cold at first, but it does kind of creep in. It's like it finds all the nooks and crannies that you don't have covered by a nice heavy cloak, which all of you do still, I believe, have your nice new heavy cloaks that Venza gave you from the temple.
Mm-hmm.
But the fire definitely helps to keep that edge off. Boki is not readily apparent, however, you hear someone whistling kind of merrily back in the kitchens. There are maybe a couple of people already down there, sitting at a table, having some kind of almost sourdough-looking bread, porridge, things like that. Just kind of warm, heavy kind of food. By their clothes, you would guess that they may be fishermen. So
Before
what would you
Bomb
like
goes
to-
down, he's kind of missing carving. So he's on a bed on the bedposts near either side of his pillow. he carves like bears
into the bedpost?
As
as soon as he wakes up. Yeah, he just
Vandal!
Massively. He doesn't really understand the concept of like vandalism and like.
oh, right,
artificial-
because Bomb hasn't been out of Floodfera.
Not at all, no.
Has Bomb ever even stayed in someone else's home before?
Oh God, no. No, the cabin's the only place he's ever been.
The most introverted.
Oh, massively.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've got to write that down.
Even,
Okay.
I think even Kendis may have asked him if he wanted to stay over sometimes.
Yeah.
But he would have always refused.
Okay. So.
And made a very clumsy kind of explanation why.
I mean, why would you when you have your home? It's comfortable, it's safe, it's familiar. It has all those
full
good
of acorns.
smells. Full of acorns and cinnamon.
Yeah. So he carves the bedposts either side of the pillow with little kind of bears standing on their hind legs, and then he throws the shavings out of the window. He doesn't check to look if there's anyone below, but he just chucks the handfuls of these wood shavings out, and then
Someone walking past, they're just like,
Not necessarily, but you do hear a rather offended seagull flapping away. Not the seagull Aarakocra that you saw. Like a little seagull. Yes, you did see a seagull Aarakocra last night in the in the tavern.
Yeah, and then Bomb goes downstairs.
Okay. So you left some bear carvings then.
Yep.
Okay. Lovely. Just on one post or on either side?
No, symmetrically.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go downstairs. Marlowe, Fenn, Kendis.
Fenn does remember to put their blue tiefling face back on before coming downstairs.
That's right. You did have your disguise when you entered. Now, how long does that last? We gotta keep track.
It lasts an hour, so I have to redo it every hour.
Okay, and it's a cantrip.
It's
Specifically for you.
Yeah, for me it's a cantrip. I just have
Fenn
to
just
consciously remember to do
excuses
it.
themselves to go to the bathroom every hour.
I need to pee again. Sorry.
Excuse me, I need to go do my face.
Marlowe is probably already downstairs because probably whenever it was that she heard that noise by the window, she couldn't get back to sleep after that.
It was, I would say, probably about 2, 3 in the morning. Which, because of how late y'all stayed up in the tavern, you probably were only asleep for maybe a few hours.
Probably tossing and turning and then just resolving to just be awake.
So you think you would have not gone back to sleep? Would you have gone downstairs?
I probably would have stayed in my room for a bit because the bar is probably not open yet, so I probably would have stayed in my room, like tinkering with my little compasses and stuff, like keeping myself busy until I figure the bar would be open.
Which means you would not have taken a full long rest.
Yep.
Okay. We'll have to make note of that. After one night without a long rest, I can't remember off the top of my head if that's where the point of exhaustion kicks in.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Worry about it.
You know what? We're gonna homebrew this. What's your constitution?
+1.
+1? You're fine. Pulling one all-nighter isn't gonna give you that significant of exhaustion. So that's how we're gonna homebrew that one. Because I how many of us have pulled all-nighters before?
Yeah.
It's not as though you can't function the next day. You might be tired, you might be fatigued, but in terms of exhaustion, I would consider that a little bit more severe. So from this point forward, going to base that off of what your constitution modifier is to determine how many nights you can go without getting full sleep before exhaustion actually kicks in. So you're going to be tired, going to feel a little bit fatigued, probably grumpy. I imagine that Marlowe's probably grumpy when you're tired, right?
Sleep deprived, yeah.
Coffee exists. It might not be great coffee, but one of the perks of having a port and something that the people of Felbray definitely wanted to adopt when shipments came in from Ela were coffee beans.
Coffee, and there's also black tea, I'm sure.
Oh yes. So
Nice.
as soon as you hear and smell that fire downstairs starting, both in the hearth and in the kitchen with the cook fires, you knew when you'd be able to go down. And you started smelling some of those good smells from the kitchen. Okay. There we go. Kendis, are you an early bird? Or do you like to sleep in?
Just generally gets up early anyway, so they'll probably be drinking tea already, wherever tea is served.
Okay.
Knocking on some
Do you
pumpkins.
have your... Okay, so you'll go downstairs for tea.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Does Fenn wake up early, or does Fenn like to sleep in? I like to know these little slice of life things about each of your characters.
That is not an early riser.
I was hoping you'd say
I
that.
love that you ask that, and Kid is like, no. Not
Absolutely not.
But it's like, I'm in a real bed. Love this for me.
Okay.
I mean, they won't get up ridiculously late. I'm sure they're aware that they're in, a new place and stuff. But yeah, definitely they'll be the last to get up.
Take advantage of it. Certainly. Okay, so we'll say Marlowe, Bomb, Kendis, you are all downstairs having your tea or coffee. Boki will come out. Probably serve all of you first. Good morning, sunshines. Well, we need some light because you're not gonna get it outside today. What do you need? What can I get for you? You look a bit tired. Was the room okay? Speaking to you, Marlowe.
Yes, thank you. The room is fine.
All right.
Caffeine? Just any caffeine?
Tea, coffee. The only
Yes.
options for either are black.
All of it, both of it, yes.
I haven't tried that mix before.
I was also thinking that.
Turns away kind of thoughtfully, and you're reminded that yes, Bucky does enjoy mixing some cocktails now and then. Actually, no, Fenn, I think you're the only one who knows that. The others don't know yet. So he just kind of looks... All right. Bomb. He'll turn to you. He doesn't know any of your names yet, and he's not necessarily going to impose and ask at this time. For you, big fella?
Something to eat, I think.
We've got lots of some things.
Porridge.
Porridge it is. Excellent. And for you two? We've got porridge, we've got fresh baked bread. Well, mostly fresh. Yesterday. We have some salt fish. Got some oranges. Got
Some
fruit.
saltfish for me as well.
Saltfish.
On
porridge.
top of the porridge.
Got some eggs. What would you
Eggs
like?
and bread. Do you have preserves, by chance? Jam.
What do you mean by preserves? Jam? Okay. I've got some jelly.
I'll take it.
Excellent. It's orange. Is that okay?
Sure.
That's all I've got. He comes back. Kendis, did you want anything along with your tea?
I will have whatever nuts and berries you have, please.
We call it the sailor's mix.
Ale mix.
Okay.
Sail mix.
Oh no. That's a thing now. That is now a thing.
Yeah.
Marlowe's gonna be bouncing off the walls for like 2 hours and crash again. Nice. So, as Boki is coming back, dished everything out. Fenn, you'll be walking comfortably down the stairs.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Nice of
Spooky
you
for
to
now
join
has
us.
gone into the kitchen, but you could catch him and ask for something when you want to.
Has Fenn given a name in this, like, with this face? Okay.
If
Not
asked, though,
yet.
they're gonna go for Neff.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Inspired by Bob.
Neff
Oh,
and
no.
Mob.
Mop and Neff.
Oh no.
Now
Kendis
with
and
the
Marlowe are just like so disappointed.
Witch Hedge.
Oh no.
how would you say Marlowe backwards? Ewelram.
Owlram. Owlram.
Like, Bomb doesn't recognise the person coming down the stairs.
Oh no! So, I mean, Fenn had that face
that's
on.
right.
This is the same face I was wearing yesterday.
Oh,
But
100%.
It's very
He's forgot it. He's
Yeah.
forgot it. Like, good morning.
Morning. How did you sleep?
Oh no.
It was fine.
It is. I cannot believe that we've managed to get beds 2 whole nights in a row. This is truly a marvelous couple of days.
Oh no.
Yes. Very good.
I can just imagine that Marlowe and Kendis are sipping now. Just watching this happen.
Should we? No, never mind.
What is your name?
Oh, for this face? Well, I figured, yeah. You were such a great inspiration earlier. I was thinking Neff.
Bomb's face.
It's a good
no.
name. It's a strong name.
Thank you.
What brings you here then? I have to say, you were refreshingly familiar.
Oh, well, I'd like to think so. And like tosses, the cloak given to us at the secret club.
What have you done
Fenn
with
thinks
that?
this is a bit. Fenn thinks we're playing.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, maybe like a wisdom check there to see if you've picked up on the fact that Bomb is very serious.
Yeah, let's all.
But if you want to roll it that way, I'm not even gonna have you roll.
Bomb is just like, what have you done with Fenn? What have you done with them?
This mysterious tiefling has murdered Fenn and taken their clothes.
Bomb, like in the back of his head, there's something niggling. Like he should know something. Like he should really know something, and he can almost like hear like this laughter, slight or giggling behind him from the table, and it kind of dawns on him, and he puts his head down and he kind of walks outside the tavern
Oh no!
and stands in the rain.
Oh no, Bomb! Did you bring your porridge with you at least?
No, he leaves everything. He just goes outside and stands
No
in the
sad rain porridge.
Mm.
Oh.
He knows his mistake now.
No.
The realization.
Oh, buddy. No, Bomb.
Yeah, his
Sad
ears are kind of
food walking in the
dripping. His
rain.
ears, all the rain's coming down his ears and dripping off the ear, like almost like pouring off the ears.
As he's walking
you
outside,
hear a-
look at the others. Like, is he okay?
I'm sure he'll be fine.
I have no doubt he'll get over it. It's not the first time
Oh no.
someone hasn't recognized someone in disguise, I suppose. Extremely amusing, though.
So, Bomb, you hear a small voice. Oh, don't be so dramatic. Go on, your porridge is getting cold. You know you don't like cold porridge.
I hope they put the fish on top of it.
So they served the saltfish on the side, but you can mix it in easily. There's some nice, like, golden chunks of butter in there as well.
At least they're giving you a good water.
So,
He kind of wrings his ears out into the pot. He steps
Boki,
back inside.
Does Bomb smell like wet dog?
Oh, 100%.
wet dog?
Oh no!
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
we'll roll with it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So
Yeah, and
for...
he kind of...
Go ahead.
Then he goes back to the table and he sits down. He kind of looks sheepishly at Neff.
Neff is now the name. So Boki will come back out seeing you, Neff, now at the table, seeing what you'd like. Marlowe, for the record, have you ever had a London fog? So a London
I
fog
want to say
is...
yes. I'm not sure.
This is not as fancy as that, but it's similar-ish. So it's like steamed milk with like strong Earl Grey tea. If I order this, it's like the only thing I ever order from Starbucks. I also like to get a shot of espresso in there, or two. That's kind of what you've been served.
So
Okay, that's not too bad.
But less fancy. And the milk ain't steamed.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of cream.
It's fine. It's fine.
With some black tea and like some extra strong coffee just thrown in there as well. It's not bad, and you think you can taste a hint of vanilla.
Oh, that's pleasant.
It was surprising. And when Boki presented it to you, he put it down, gave himself like a little pat on the back, and walked away. A little bit of a spring in his step. But Fenn, was there anything that you would like? He'll bring out. You know what's here.
Tea and porridge, please.
Right away. When he comes back out. So, I'm glad all of you have survived your first night here. When I saw some of you going to the Anchor and Crown table, I will admit I was a bit worried, but you seem to have done all right. What brings you to Felbray? This isn't exactly a holiday destination. Usually people who are coming here are, well, coming from the sea. Not necessarily from the other direction, not necessarily from inland. You running from something?
We are on a journey, as many are who turn up at towns like this.
Mm-hmm. Sounds kind of like you're running from something to me, but I won't ask. I won't ask.
You already did.
You do seem quite
That I
good.
did.
Someone who doesn't like to ask.
I won't ask further questions. I won't ask what you're running from. But it wouldn't be the first time we've had trouble in my inn. So I'd like to know, or get a sense, if I should be expecting anything. Just a few days back, we had an issue. I don't even know what it was. A fight, a dispute, disagreement between some of the guests here. I'd
Sounds
rather
terrible.
not have to deal with that again. It gives all of you like very meaningful looks. But if you're on a journey, then hopefully this isn't your last stop. Wouldn't be mine.
Indeed not. We will be on our way at a point. This is merely a means to recuperate and work out our next steps.
Very well. Well, your rooms are yours. for as long as you would like to stay.
I'll carve the rest of the bed.
The rest?
Probably shouldn't
Oh no.
tell the innkeeper that until we've left. And find out before he can't chase us for a deposit.
I'll assume you've all sort of shuffled away then. So what would you like to do? Fenn, you know more or less what is here. Mostly residential. The biggest points of interest in Felbray would of course be the docks themselves. You've been to the library already before, known simply as the library. In a smaller village like this, not everything's necessarily going to have a catchy, fancy name. There is a forge where Talon, of course, the blacksmith, does work. There's also a magistrate here as like the local governor of sorts.
How long are we planning to stay?
For as long as we can charter a ship.
I suppose the first step would be the docks then and sort of further transportation, see when it leaves, and then plan the rest of our day from there.
That would be wise indeed. Hopefully we can head out sooner rather than later. One can't read books in the library all day, I suppose.
Seems
If
to be,
it's a ship we need, I can probably find us one.
yes, I was going to say it would be your wheelhouse. Do you want anyone else to go with you?
I can come.
I'll gladly come. I would not mind taking a look around.
I wish to investigate if anyone requires carvers in this area for the future.
Okay.
Maybe the magistrate. I heard there's one here.
There is. And we'll say Fenn probably would have communicated these different things. And in fact, the main road that goes through town, there's really just one main road because you're on a bit of an incline. So you are, ever since you entered Felbray and went through those gates, everything sort of funnels downwards, downhill towards the docks, towards the sea, with the taller cliffs on either side kind of sheltering. Felbray sits in something of a cove, a little bit farther back from the rest of the cliffs, from the proper coastline, we'll say. So walking down, it is cold. Thankfully, you have these nice warm cloaks. But as the sun begins to gain height in the sky, some of that fog ends up burning away, so you can see a little bit more clearly. So, much like, let's say you haven't been to Cashel necessarily yet, the capital city. Some of you may have. But the architecture in Monair, mostly in central Monair, a little bit into western Monair as well, is characterized by mostly stone and wood construction. And if you remember in Glenfair, a lot of the pillars that serve as the stabilizing elements and the kind of entry points for a lot of buildings, especially important buildings, tend to be carved wood. So within Felbray, a little bit more stone, not as much wood, just being this close to the sea. The wood that is there has this sort of driftwood, weathered sort of look, just because of the salt in the air, the cold, the weather that just hammers this coastline seasonally. So walking down, you would end up, Fenn, you'd be able to point out different things. A shop here and there. This one makes good biscuits. I don't mean like UK style cookie biscuits, but like American style bready biscuits. I guess crumpets are the closest thing in the UK that I can think of. Something along those. Scones. They'll make salted caramel scones. Walking past the magistrate's building, it looks a little bit more like not so much a tower, because a tower isn't necessarily going to withstand the wind that you're going to get here, but it definitely is one of the taller buildings within Felbray. Mostly dark stone. Looks to be maybe three stories, including the entry ground floor.
Bomb kind of gets the sort of stone building and thinks. Turns to Marlowe as they're walking down and says, "You think ship captains would go for a bit of modifications on the masts and things, even the figureheads?"
Is I'm the captain?
Just some craft work while we're on sea.
Some captains are a bit flashier than others, and some prefer to be a bit more subtle.
Maybe we pick a flashier one then.
Maybe.
We could get us a discount or some sort of
Discounted passage.
negotiation.
You'll have to find out. As you walk through the rest of the town, mostly residential homes, Fenn to the left. As you continue your descent towards the docks, you do see the library. Not a very large building, but standalone, very cozy. A little bit more circular in structure, this one. It definitely is familiar to you. And this building definitely seems older than the other structures. At least as old as the magistrates. It actually is more of a clock tower, just not horribly high. So at least as old as the magistrate's clock tower. And when you were here last, the librarian told you a little bit more of the history of that library, how it was actually built at the same time as the old lighthouse that is no longer in use, but is at the very top of the northern side of the cliffs, overlooking everything. You heard some interesting things about that lighthouse as well, but never had the chance to actually finish the story with the librarian. But you pass by the library and inevitably find yourself at the docks. So they're not... It's not as expansive as, say, the docks in Yokul or Ayacosta or Ela. Definitely smaller. Room for perhaps 3 ships at a time. And looking out, only 2 are here at the moment, outside of these smaller fishing vessels that just the people living and working in Felbray will use each morning. It looks like a lot of the fishing ships, the smaller ships, have come back. But you can see, gazing out across the water towards the horizon line, that there are sections where these darker rocks kind of rise up from the water. Looks almost like teeth So not terribly large ships would be able to fit through here. But as you walk forward, you see some hustle and bustle. It's a little bit quiet right now. There is what looks to be a male half-orc kind of surveying things, talking to a few people here and there. You remember hearing the name Yannick in the inn last night as being the name of the dock owner. Bundled up appropriately, as most of the other folks are. There are 2 ships that you can see. Marlowe, one of them looks more familiar to you. Not one that you've served on before, but the Aphis, Aphis, is one that you have seen in the southern routes before. You don't recall the Aphis necessarily coming this far north, but you've seen them and interacted with some of that crew before during your time on the Maristella.
What's the other ship?
The other one is the Kilbane, Kilbane. So the Aphis is more of a standard merchant vessel. The Kilbane you're not as familiar with, but it looks to be a typical kind of ship. Some of the cargo that they seem to be taking on and off include things like furs, raw materials, some fish, probably some fish as well. Whereas the Aphis is more of your standard, like food, textiles, stuff like that. The Aphis actually has some crates of oranges coming off of it.
I approach the Aphis.
Okay. So as you walk up, the dockmaster actually turns to you first. Morning.
Morning.
That's all he says.
Do you perchance have room on board for a few temporary passengers?
So you're looking for passage? You'll have to take it up with one of the captains. But, as the dock master here, I want to make sure that you're not just gonna get in the way. What do you need?
Is Bomb with me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I look to Bomb. And I, like...
Passage wouldn't be difficult as long as I know where you need to go. The crews are a bit busy at the moment, so let me see if I can help you find a solution before you go pestering the captains.
Sounds good.
Where is it that we're trying to go?
Yeah, cool.
You're cool. Okay, yeah. We are seeking passage to Yokul.
All right. Well, the Kilbane doesn't go that far. I'm not quite sure where the Aphis needs to go next, but you could ask them. I'm sure Captain Nadia is around here somewhere. Why do you need to go to Yokul? What would you be bringing on board? How many of you? He's going through, like, the typical questions.
Yeah.
It's like customs.
4 of us, not too many. I'm sure a ship could manage. We're happy to help a crew with whatever they need in exchange for passage.
Are you
We're
prepared?
acquaintance, or at least most of us are. And looks at Fenn.
Are you prepared to pay for passage?
This one was wondering if he might be able to help or offer something in exchange, perhaps.
What was the captain's name again?
Nadia.
Captain Nadia?
Is Nadia flashy?
So Marlowe, you do remember Captain Nadia. She is Elin. Not so much. A little bit flashier than Captain Roscoe is. Roscoe tolerated the frivolities and silliness of the crew and didn't hinder anyone else's enjoyment of things, but Roscoe is a very practical person. Nadia, especially with most of her crew coming from Ela, tends to entertain more of the flashiness, more of the music and artistry and that sort of thing. And as you are having this conversation, you actually do hear a familiar voice call out, "Who is that pink tiefling down there?" And you do see Nadia calling out from the... Oh, I just heard my voice echoing back to me. Who's got their volume up? You do see Nadia walking down across the docks. So, taller, not quite as tall as Bomb. I would say like 5'7", 5'8". Darker complexion, braided hair pulled back. Shouts out with a bit of a smile and a swagger towards Marlowe. "Is that Miss Magoria?"
One and only.
"What in the hells are you doing here? I thought you were on the Maristella." Yannick, it's okay. I know her. It's fine. Thank you.
I know her.
There's a crate of oranges just for you with your name on it, as promised. And Yannick, "I'll be taking that then." He walks away with the oranges. What trouble have you been getting into?
Trouble, me?
Well, last I saw or heard any speck of news from you, you had gotten into a bit of a tussle with one of my crew. Some sort of disagreement about a rabbit?
I got in a tussle with them. No, you're mistaken. They got in a tussle with me.
Well, they're not on the ship anymore, so it's alright. They didn't last too long.
I can't imagine why.
So what do you need? Why are you here in Felbray? What happened to Maristella and Roscoe?
I stepped off for a bit of a walk around on land. Ended up with this crew.
Colorful folks.
Quite frankly, quite happy to be on the road again. We're just passing through here. Needed passage.
Alright, just passing through sounds interesting. Where are you trying to pass through to?
You're cool.
Okay. Yokul's not one of my typical stops. Why do you need to go there?
We're seeking information about a lot of things, actually. I wouldn't know where to start.
Is this a cabin conversation?
It may just be.
Knowing you, I
perhaps
figured it
another
would
time.
be. Well, we're unloading and prepping to depart in 2 days' time. So we have to talk about this now and figure out what's going on. See if I can help you. You know I'm willing to help. Your old captain and I go way back. And if a member of his crew needs something, then I will do what I can. I'm a little bit disappointed to see you off the Maristella, though. Haven't heard from old Roscoe for a while.
He's doing well last I checked. Last I saw him, which was... How long would that have been? Like a couple of weeks? A few weeks? Okay. Yeah.
Well, because you were in Glenfarra for about 2 weeks before we began with the story. And it's been... Has it been about another week since? Well, probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks. It's been about a month, we'll say.
Okay.
Because it took you guys some time in Glenfarra, and then with the traveling, and then meeting Fenn and all that. So we'll say roughly a month since you last saw him.
He's well.
Good.
Says I'm welcome on his ship at any time.
Good. Okay.
I imagine I'll see Maristella again.
Well, with you wandering around on land, I figured it doesn't surprise me it was only a matter of time before you found your way onto a ship again. So, shall we talk business? The cabin's free. She invites all of you on board. Before, names? If you're with Magoria, then I figure you're at least preliminarily trustworthy. However trustworthy she is. I figure at least at that level.
For them.
Names?
Kendis walks forward and sticks their hand out and is like, Kendis Brackenhill, Hedge Witch, pleased to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure's all mine. I've known a few hedge witches. Good people.
Thank you. Hopefully you have some stories to tell. We can have a chat if you're not too busy on the voyage.
We've got time now.
Excellent.
Fenn. Nice to meet you. You found another tiefling. Very good. You? Yes? looking up. And you, good sir?
I'm Bomb. My name's Bomb.
Bomb. You almost sound disappointed when you say it like that. It's Bomb.
I traded with Roscoe. I sold him some uniquely carved oars last time we had a dealing.
You made them.
A woodcarver.
You're the artisan.
Yes.
I heard him talking about these oars. I haven't seen him yet.
Yes.
But
Some
he
of my
was
best work.
He was more excited than I'd expect from a man who doesn't usually take too much interest in fine art and things of that nature. You see, the Aphis is a little bit more of a cultured crew. So if you'd like to do a little bit of beautification of the old girl, you're more than welcome to.
Cool.
But
Seems
yeah,
have time.
come aboard. Let's chat about Yokul, because it's not my normal stop. I'm actually planning on circling back, heading down south again. But I figure if you're going to Yokul off of a normal shipping route, there's a reason for it. I don't necessarily trust the place myself. But come on, come inside. So you board the ship, if you all go willingly.
Mm-hmm.
It is not quite as large as the Maristella, but you know the Aphis is fast. Everything looks just as clean and orderly as you would expect. Most of the cargo is currently being transitioned off. You have to sort of very carefully walk past some of the crew who are disembarking with crates and whatnot. But you go into the captain's quarters above deck. So, enter the room. Nadia's quarters are fairly sizable, pretty comfortable. You see, instead of a normal bed, there's like a hammock with cushions thrown in it in the corner. She's said before that she likes to feel the rocking of the ship when she sleeps at night. There is a round table, a smaller table there, with a bottle of wine already on it. It's not uncommon once you arrive to port for the captain to break out a bottle, especially after if it's been a more difficult journey. Usually there's some sort of celebration, and you're sure there will be a celebration with the APHIS crew later on in the Brass Canary.
It's like literal port wine.
It is port wine. And of course, proper Elin port wine. From the capital city of Vidromar, you actually recognize the bottle. So, she beckons all of you in. It's very comfortable. There's a short bookshelf there. There's a standing desk with some maps laid out and rolled up. It's a little bit cluttered over there. Lots of cushions. It's like weirdly full of cushions and decorative pillows and stuff. Some like paintings and stuff on the wall. But she welcomes all of you in. Grab a seat, sit down. The seats are just kind of like stools.
Bomb's like, nice pieces of wood.
Might be a little cramped for you, my friend, and you did have to duck your head walking through the door.
Fearbox can like change size a little bit though, can't they?
Yeah, I think
If you want to.
I think he would almost do it. I think he can almost do it naturally. I think he almost like almost subconsciously.
Instead of ducking through doorways, you just shrink a
Yeah,
little.
you kind of like shrink slightly. Yeah. And it always sounds like those trees moving in the breeze as well. Every time he does something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like bark creaking.
So, talk to me. Why do you need to go to Yokul?
Well, it's a long story. But it all began with a strange happening in Glenferra, where I'm from, and Bomb. Marlowe and another party member who has since departed from us arrived seeking, I don't know, they were brought to us for a purpose which became apparent much later on. There was something strange threatening the livelihood of the forest. There was strange patches of ice and a dark presence in the woods, and essentially, amongst many other things that happened, we are looking for the source of this disturbance. It's been a strange road that we're on, and I'd rather not go back to Jakul personally, but that's where we're at. Unfortunately, that's where the path is taking us.
Back to Yokul, you said.
Yes, I was there for a time.
Okay.
It's another long story in itself, but maybe best saved for a later point.
So you're looking to find answers behind a disturbance.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that
Have you
answer
heard
is in
anything,
Yokul? It depends on the disturbance. I haven't heard anything about Glenferra.
You've not heard anything on the winds? Rumours of troubles?
There's always
Unnatural
trouble on
weather
the seas,
side.
my friend. There
What
was a
about the
strange
weather? What about
storm.
the,
There was a strange storm west of Ela a couple weeks ago. I've been out of port, but that's one reason why I'm sort of anxious to go back. I haven't been home since. Heard some weird rumors. Yeah, I would say that you always hear strange tales. Traveling the seas. Figuring out which stories the sailors may or may not be embellishing. Which happens to be a lot of them, to be honest. Bit of a strange storm. Apparently, it was very isolated. Just in one area, one section of the sea. The water is rough, but calm. The farther out you go, unnatural. But again, I haven't seen it myself. I don't know how much of it may or may not have been true. Some people say that the sun turned black. Others say they saw creatures in the depths. Others say that a ship was torn apart. Yeah, you never really know these things. Especially once the wine starts going. But there was something.
No smoke without fire, as the saying goes. And some of that does ring a little true to what we experienced as well. I would hate to think that the trouble is spreading, but again, that's why we feel we must investigate and put a stop to whatever is the heart of all this. It would not do to have something so insidious creep across the entire land.
There was something else, too.
Oh, yes?
Marlowe, I asked you about Roscoe before. We were supposed to meet in Iyastera last week. 2 weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago. Because that's the normal stop. Of course, for the Maristella, you know. The ship was there, but no one could tell me where he was.
Seems unlike Roscoe to miss a meeting.
The ship was there. The crew were even in the inn. They just said, yeah, we're staying here for a while. Roscoe has business. But didn't see him. And as we were leaving port, the Maristella was still there.
Maristella doesn't stay docked for that long.
No, it does not. I was hoping you might know where he is. What happened? Do you know anything? What was... Was there anyone following him? Did he get into trouble? It happens sometimes. You spend long enough on the seas, you make enemies. How was he when you last saw him?
How was he when I last saw him?
Exactly as you remember.
Yeah, good, wasn't he?
Business as usual.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so might not, and it's nothing to do with your disturbances with forests and storms and things, but it's something that's been weighing on my mind. And when you talk about strange things, that If you hear anything, let me know. If you have any way of reaching him, of getting a message, it's unlike him. And I don't know if the Mars is still docked there or not. But you're cool then. So here's the thing. It'll take... How many weeks did it take from Yokul to Glenfarra? Was it? I think it was like a couple of weeks. It was at least a week. I'll have to go back and check the map again. So the Aphis is a bit swifter than some other ships. I could probably get you there in about a week and a half, if the winds are in our favor. But you might need to give me a little bit more to make it worth getting there. Because I do need to keep a schedule. And this would set us back by a week and a half. About 10, 12 days.
Oh. We are sorry to inconvenience you. I know it's a big ask, but if there's any way we can make this worth your while or we pay you, we would gladly do whatever we could.
I'm not gonna make you pay for passage. Not when you've got one of our own in your party. But I do need to make sure it's worth not just my time, but the crew's time. I have not gone to Yokul much. If there is some sort of cargo, some sort of exchange, whether that be information, goods, whatever it may be, I need to make it worthwhile. Because, well, I hate to use, it's gonna sound like Roscoe when you say time is money. But I've got a lot of folk here on the ship who are eager to get home back to Ila. So what will you offer?
Well...
And how long do you need to be there? Will you need passage back?
If it comes to it, we could sort our own way back. I wouldn't want to keep you, and our investigations there may take some time. I wouldn't really like to make any kind of prediction at this stage. As for what we can offer, personally, I practice magic. Any kind of small cantrip or herbs or whatever kind of ailments I can assist you with mending on the voyage. To my knowledge and experience, sailors are a superstitious lot. Would be happy to do some tarot card readings, some insight, some looking into the future to see what would be fortunate for you to look out for in future voyages. Whatever,
That could be entertaining.
Yeah, and some of it may even be. I don't know what the rest of this group would care to offer, but that's what I have.
What about a set of oars to rival Roscoe's? In fact, to surpass them.
Go on. Do you remember the ones you made for Roscoe?
Of course, I remember all my work.
Spoken like a true craftsman.
There's none like us.
Well, I will admit, I don't think I've ever met a Furbolg woodsmith before. Wood carver.
We prefer timbersmith.
Timbersmith, then? How long would it take you to create these ores?
About a week.
Week and a half? Do you need more material? Do you
Easily
have
done.
the material?
I can get this before we leave port.
Perhaps. That would definitely be something of value.
I'd even throw in a figurehead.
Particularly if you have any other
Make it-
things that we can trade as well. We will need to definitely increase our supply stores before making this journey. Because we did not supply for an extra couple of weeks at sea at this stage. But I can probably work with Yannick on that one.
Starts emptying out a bag of just because she tinkers a lot, so she probably takes things apart and puts things together, but like has a bunch of spare parts that she doesn't use anymore, or like that she has no need for, and it's just like emptying it out because they're good parts. She just doesn't need them or have any use for them.
Okay. Bunch of odds and ends and random springs. The stone marbles are probably still in there.
Probably.
I don't know how much value is in this, but if you're showing me your collection, it's very nice. She says a little bit mockingly, in a good-natured way.
There are odds and ends shops. We happened to come across one in a stopover. They seem to be interested in this sort of stuff.
And how will that benefit us in this trip?
Trade for goods, trade for things you may need, give it to someone who may find use of them.
Okay. And you, blue one, do you have anything that could be of value? I still have not fully made up my mind.
Yeah,
I'll do some digging to see. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say about that. I'm not actually blue. I just like blue. But I can do this, and I'll like flip my face back to my regular face. Figure that's kind of fun. People might enjoy that, more entertainment.
Hey, look at that! Isn't that fun? Hey, it's like the
Bring up the ship's morale.
I can do impressions. Well, I'm not very good at vocal impressions. I'm not very good at changing my voice particularly, but I can, and I'll make myself look like Marlowe. I'm really cool and sneaky. I have lots of things in my bag.
Oh, you're the spitting image of her. Well, that doesn't do much good in terms of... I'm not trying to say that's not impressive, because it is. And that will make for some very interesting entertainment on board. Not quite what I was looking for.
Equally, I mean, certain faces are helpful when it comes to trading if you need a particular face stood beside you.
Perhaps. So, we have some items for trade. We have some goods and services to provide. But those could be done for any voyage. Tell me more about your cool.
I can throw in one more. I'm a tinkerer. I'm not sure if you've heard much of my travels with Roscoe, but I've helped come up with a thing or two, and I could perhaps conjure up something of a weather, something to help determine what the weather might be on any given day, to help you determine what days would be best for sailing.
you can make such a thing. I thought that was something left to arcanists.
You underestimate me.
Now that is something that not too many other ships that I know actually has. And if these strange occurrences, as you call them, may happen again, perhaps that could be very useful indeed. And perhaps exploring a new port for potential business opportunities could be of benefit. I might be able to sell that to the crew. Very well. We do have some extra stock. Don't know how many oranges are naturally growing in Yokul, but we'll bring some of that. We'll bring some of the other things that we hadn't sold. And we'll get a new weather device and ores out of it. There's usually someone who ends up feeling poorly on the ship. Could be useful having a hedge witch. I'm sure it will be. And we've got one heck of an impressionist. Impersonator? I think that's the word. All right. Well, let us prepare. Let me talk to the crew. And we will leave in 2 days' time. I can't really give you more than that. We've been at sea for a while. I owe them some time on land. And I'd like to know a little bit more about these troubles. I have been a little bit more wary in the recent weeks. So I'd like to know what I may or may not be getting myself into. Roscoe's not the first captain to go missing, by the way. But I think that we have some possibilities here. So I suppose this will be the first time where I can officially welcome you to the crew of the Aphis.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It is much appreciated, and we will do our utmost to make it worth your while.
I'm sure you will. And I think that could be a good stopping point for tonight.
Perfect.
And we're back. You found yourself a crew.
Yay!
Let's get back to this one. There we go. All right. More role-playing, getting back into the swing of things, into the groove, into the mood, into the characters. Some questions partially answered. A lot of unanswered questions.
I'm excited to get to know
people are suspicious coming through Felbray. But you will have, that means, 2 days in Felbray.
Yeah.
Or at least the rest of today and then tomorrow. In game, of course. To do whatever you need to do, make whatever preparations you need to make.
Get me some tree trunks.
Gambling.
Source some material. Apparently some more gambling. And to be sure, when you get back to the Brass Canary, there will be some sort of festivities. Marlowe, you'll probably see some familiar faces, so we'll have to talk about that. Hopefully not getting into more fights this time. But there's our session. And we are back on schedule, so we should be back with episode 9 of chapter 2 in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
For a quick little outro, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I am coming back with the streaming. So next Tuesday will be chill creation, specific topic TBD. Might have some of these lovely faces around the virtual table on with me, we'll see. And then next Thursday will be some gaming. Getting back to that, it'll either be Horizon Zero Dawn or, because Deltarune has come out a little bit more, not the full game, but I think, chapters 1 and 2 are out now? I've been trying to stay away from too many spoilers, but it might be about time to revisit Undertale into Deltarune, which could be fun. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it later on. But very happy to be back. I have been on an extended hiatus. There are still some loose ends that I have to tie up in real world land, which is not nearly as entertaining and engaging as this one. But getting back to some normalcy. I have missed you all. Thank you all so much for coming out to the stream tonight. But that's enough of my rambling. Do the heroes around the table have anything they would like to share before we close up? It could either be an announcement or something interesting you learned recently.
We've just signed with a dice manufacturer. It's pretty cool.
Oh my god. Yeah. Marlowe. Jenn, you dice gremlin. You're like, what? Dice?
Yeah.
Really?
Let me know
what? What? Dice, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Set for the first game, set for the second game.
Oh, fantastic.
And because they're all D6s, it's fairly cost effective and also quite easy to design.
D6s are pretty good.
Yeah.
Very
so that's
good,
my
very
thing.
Good. Excellent. And Overisles is looking beautiful.
Yeah, we finished the Kickstarter this morning. Well, ready for launch, so.
Oh, it's about to. Well, that's a huge announcement. Overall's Kickstarter is about to go live.
That's important.
That's a big one. You should have led with that.
Which is just like,
dice are more exciting.
I don't know. I don't really have any announcements. Just the
Kickstarter of
ready,
what's about to be my second
it's
Smash
fine.
indie TTRPG hit. It's fine. It's fine. From the makers of. That's fantastic. Okay, we'll be sure to keep us all posted as you do with that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
What's going on with Tea Light Press, Sash?
We are on hiatus briefly, just while me and Matt sort our schedules out. I think we're going to release a new theme in the next week or so, depending on how much free time I get to follow our backlog of emails. But yeah, no, that'll be up and running again pretty soon. Yeah, in the meantime, I am just trying to get my life together. So not that much going on for me, but that's fine.
Cheers to that. I think that's been sort of a common theme, actually. Just getting life together.
Yeah, investing in the future. Yeah,
investing in the future. Taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Mercury in retrograde? Something's been in the air the past few months, I think. It's been something. But Halloween is this weekend as well, which I keep forgetting about. So I want to see all sorts of crazy costume pictures floating around.
I've got my fangs next to me. I'll put my fangs in for the rest of
Yes.
I need to get my costume tomorrow. And
yes. What? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, those look so cool. Yes. Oh, if we had planned it better, perhaps tonight could have been in costume.
Oh. We need to do one where we dress as our characters.
Yeah.
So Halloween is this weekend, but next big holiday after that is gonna be like Christmas, midwinter, Yule, festive holiday season in December. I think offline we need to start talking about what kind of special thing we may want to do for that. Whether it's a return to the festive gobos of Iyastera, as we did last year, or if we want to do an in-campaign special. So
I kind of think it would be nice to explore like the holiday lore of Iyastera.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, we can do that.
It would be cool.
A winter holiday in Iyastera, yeah.
The different ways each culture celebrates the holidays.
That would be cool. Oh man, we could make this a whole thing, because we could explore that in a chill creation and then have
A
a session.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a great idea.
We will continue these discussions offline. Excellent. All right. Anything else? Okay. Thank you all again so much. Oh, all the shiny hearts and scrivs and fire goats. Festive fire goats of Yuletide. I lost it there. Festive fire goats are good. Always good.
Yeah.
I want to get like a...
Let's do fire.
Like as weird as it sounds, like almost a Renaissance style picture of a fire goat in my house. For whatever reason, that just the idea of it just tickles me.
Isn't there a festive fire goat in Sweden? There's like a big goat that gets burnt down every year at Christmas. Like a big goat made of like straw and stuff, and they burn it down.
What? Swedish fire goat?
I have to look into that.
All right. Well, fire goat's gonna have to make it into Iyastera and holiday lore as well, I believe. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for coming out and rejoining us for the return from the hiatus. You know where to find us. Check out all of the Twitter handles. Stay tuned for more developments as we start to find a little bit more normalcy and get back on schedule with the stories and the creation and the magic and the wonderful things. All right, that's all we've got. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Keep adventuring, keep scribbling, and we will see you next time. Bye everyone!
Bye.